my watch says that it's 4 p.m. and it's time for the Fabulous Friday Facebook Live. I am Sue, the Soggy Stamper. Rain or shine, it's stamping time. And today is the 4th of July. Here in the United States, it is a national holiday celebrating our independence from England. And it's a beautiful day, sunny with a little bit of a breeze, so it's not too hot. And I, unfortunately, do not have a patriotic card for you today. I wasn't thinking along those lines exactly, but I do have one, this card here, which I am excited to share with you. I had seen a card similar, and I've seen some with just the large shape and have a triptych that way. But I wanted to use the 3 different sizes of dies. And so when you open it up, this is what you get. And from looking down on it, it looks like that. And it stands by itself. So let's get started on it. First thing is, I use Sunrise Sailing as the stamp set. I'll be using Congratulations and You're Destined for Great Things. I have a granddaughter who just got her master's degree, and I'm going to be sending this card to her. And then I'll be using one of these squares and the arched, everyday arches dies is what have been created to make this. So we'll be using this pair, and this pair, with the smaller size of each one for the Designer Series paper. And the Designer Series paper is Everyday Skies. It's gorgeous colors. And this, to me, looks like the water. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. And along with the stamp set comes these wonderful dies. It also comes with an embossing folder that you can emboss the boat and have it stand out. It looks like, here's one that I cut out already, and I tried coloring it with Stampin' Blends, but I didn't like the results too well, so I bagged this one. But you can kind of tell the embossed direction is a little bit curved a little bit. So I have the pieces put here. Did a bunch of cutting in advance because just running things through the die cutter, people have seen those oftentimes. So here are the 3 sizes. And this is Pool Party cardstock. So I have the 3 sizes there. And then this is one of the Everyday Skies. And they fit in there just like so. So go ahead and attach those. Backside's really pretty too. This is a set. This is a 6x6 Designer Series paper pack, and it was introduced in the spring mini catalog. No, this is not Everyday Skies. I'm sorry. This is the Thoughtful Journey, and this was introduced in the spring mini catalog and carried forward because it was so popular. Not Everyday Skies, Thoughtful Journey. Now, part of my quandary was how to get these to stand up. Kind of wanted to make them three-dimensional with them standing. Get those corners down. I wanted to make them so they stood like this, separated, and I tried a variety of different ways to do it, and just could not find similar to the side stepped card, but in the front. But then you wouldn't have seen the rest of them. So anyway, I came up with a new solution, and that is, you'll see that there are hinges here on the back, and these are 3 inches by 2 inches, and they're scored in the center. At 1 inch. And if I were to hinge this way, and then it would fold over, and then hinge this way, I didn't have it all lined up quite in the center. So that is why I ended up with these wider hinges. Because I can position because you see I positioned this one out away from the fold. So we'll put the first and line it up at the bottom. Like that. Then you're going to fold it over, and we'll take the second piece, make sure we get the right side, and we're going to put adhesive along here. And then I can position it exactly in the center. Since it's liquid glue, you can move it along. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to put this hinge on, and it will be right against the edge. Yeah. Did this backwards. Okay. Need it to be out here like this. So place this in the center. And fold it over like that. No, that is not right yet. Good grief. Now I'm really messing it up. There. Ah. Now I have stickiness all along the side because I had adhesive on it. So here's a little trick I use. It's an embossing bag. You can get it at a store. We used to carry them by themselves, or you can get them as part of the embossing kit that includes a tray and a brush and the embossing bag. And that adds powder to it so that it doesn't stick. Oh my goodness. Okay. I was right about that side. Put this one on. Like that. And then this one comes on the front. So when you close it up, it looks like that. And then place this in the center. Gonna need some more embossing bag powder. You get the idea. Even after 22 years, things don't happen sometimes the way you plan. Okay, so now we have it laid out like that. This is just another cloud on the sky. Okay, so now I have the interior part to decorate this. And I stamped once. I made myself some cloud cover ink in a spot, a square spot, because they had to discontinue the ink pad that just wasn't holding up to Stampin' Up! Quality and lasting ability. But the re-inker is fine. So I re-inked an empty spot and stamped the greeting directly onto the designer series paper. And since I had just recently inked the spot, it was too juicy and it looked horrible. So I stamped it on here onto white cardstock and then cut it out. And I was going to on this one, I was just going to stamp here with the greeting and that. But I decided that I do like this. So let's do some stamping. Now that I've made a mess of this, let's see if I can stamp better. Okay, so first, I stamped the sailboat in Secret Sea. And the stamp set has pieces that you can color in the sail and the boat part. And I want the boat part to be brown, so I'm using pecan pie ink. And this is the stamp. And I love photopolymer because you can see exactly how much ink you have on it. And you can tell better where you're going to place it. Okay, not too bad. I didn't want to get my head in the picture. Okay, so there's that. And then the sail stripes or like this. You can tell by the pink because the color sometimes stains. And this is the cloud cover. And that goes inside like that. And for some reason, this particular stamp doesn't cover real well. So I have my color cloud cover blend to improve to darken it somewhat. Okay, now we have the sailboat. I have already cut out of basic white the sails. And I have cut out the boat out of Secret Sea. And you'll notice that the sail is also cut. But the staff is so skinny that you can't very well cut it by itself. But that's not a problem. Okay, where's the card? And I used adhesive sheet on the back. I love that stuff. Okay. I just had to take your pick. Where did it go? I love the adhesive sheet because it puts adhesive where you couldn't possibly get little fine pieces of adhesive. I'm going to put that on the water, straighten up the staff. Now, what's cool is when you put this piece over the top, you can line it up just like that, and you have the mast showing through like that. Use some adhesive, some liquid glue. Voila! There's our ship. While we're at it, let's stamp the greetings, I should say. Make sure that's not the right one. Make sure there's room. Yep, there is. I like to stamp first and then cut because If I make a mistake and get it crooked, I can still adjust. Okay, so secret C. And the greeting that says, "You're destined for great things." I'll stamp that here. And I'll stamp on here while I have the ink pad out. The congratulations. Under the ship. Ooh. Not as good as I would have liked. See if I can finish off that T with a marker. Doesn't look that great. Okay, so now I'm ready to do some die cutting. Well, before I do that, let's put a few of the birds up above. There. Now we're done with the stamping. I'm going to die cut this out and this. I'll be right back. Got that. Now someplace the sailboat die is hiding. Here it is. There's the sailboat. I'm going to pop it up with Stampin' Dimensionals, or pieces of them. And then I'm going to cut some of the edge. To put here on the bottom of the boat. And one more for up at the top of the sail. Okay, so here's the card, but one thing I didn't like quite so much, just the fact that in the center, up here, there was no sky. So we gotta put this on too. Forgot the label. Okay, so I didn't like the fact that the designer series paper didn't carry through for that, so I cut another scrap. I would have put a whole thing on, but I did not have any more of this paper, so I cut a scrap that just fits in. Here, like so. And it's a little bit long, so I'll cut it shorten it. Because I want it to fit right like that. It needs to be just a touch shorter. There, that works pretty close. Ideally, it would be a whole another arch on this side. There, so when you close it up, you actually see that. So there you have it. This was a great congratulations card for graduation or for somebody who's gotten a new position at work. Thank you for watching, and I'll put this up in spite of the problems I had. I will put it up on my Facebook, on my Soggy Stamper YouTube channel. If you have any questions, you can email me, sue@soggystamper.com. My blog is www.soggystamper.com. Typo there. And if you need any products, go to my blog. In the upper right-hand corner is a Shop Now button, and that will take you directly to my online stamping store. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your 4th of July weekend. Bye-bye.